Hey everybody, and welcome. Today we are here in Horse Cave, Kentucky, and we're getting ready to take you guys along with us to
Farmwalds Restaurant Dutch Bakery.
pretzels and donuts that they have, glazed, some chocolate, powdered cover, those big cinnamon rolls, powder. Here's the lunch menu as well as the breakfast menu that they have if you'd like a hot meal here. It's a nice strawberry raspberry cake, lemon blueberry, and plain cheesecake. Here is some cinnamon apple cider. Here we have some happy salt, which seems to be just salt, spices, and dehydrated onions and garlic. Here we have some various salsas. There's some cherry salsa, black bean salsa. Over here we've got some black wine vinaigrette. There's different slaw dressings. Down this way, we've got some corn salsa. Down this way, sweet pepper relish, cinnamon applesauce. And one thing I'm not seeing is the frog jam. The Amish wedding company makes a frog jam, and we have had a frog jam sandwich over in Nolensville, Tennessee, in an Amish store. Highly recommend trying out the frog jam if you can ever find it, but they don't seem to have it here at this location. I've looked pretty much on every shelf and don't see the frog jam, but there's a gooseberry jam. Don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Here are chocolate fantasy bars. There's just so many great things. I wish there was like a sampling of several things you could throw together here. Here are some monster cookies, and down here there's no-bake cookies. Oh man, we may have to order these before we go. Right here, these are called Can't Leave Alone bars. We're kind of thinking this is kind of like a brookie, like half cookie, half brownie, but we're not certain. There's no-bake peanut butter bars right here. Up here we have chess bars for $4.99. Here is some fresh honey. Right here there's chunk honey. And down here there's a small sampling of the honey. Let's see how much a small sampling costs. It's $4.99. The larger jars, which I say larger lightly, they're still pretty small. I don't see a price. Let's see if this one has a price. Okay. I think you'd have to just ask on those. So these little bears here are $3.99. Here's a section here for various Dutch candies. They're all $4.99 a bag. You got your typical gummy green apple rings. Over here, there's roasted pistachios and salted pistachios. Cranberry nut delight mix, $5.99. There's some taffy. Chocolate bridge mix. This is really cool. It's like an antique fire truck pedal car. There's no price on it, but it's really neat. Let's see if it actually rings here. Look at that, Henry. It's Uncle Henry's Pretzels. Do you know somebody named Henry? Here's some maple syrup in a maple leaf jar, $21.99. And even though we're in Kentucky, this is Ohio pure maple syrup. Look how cool this is. Inside of this big bobber are some fishing poles, but they're barbecue lighters in the shape of a fishing pole. I have never seen these before. How much are they? They are $17.99. Here are some famous Amish whoopie pies. It's banana bread. Take a look at this rocking chair here. It is $499.99, but it is custom made by the Amish, and just the attention to detail is just very impressive. Custom made bird houses. This one is $49.99, and this one's $19.99. It says work hard and be nice to people. It's pretty good words to live by right there. Here's another really cool rocking chair. Look at this one. Wow. This one is running for $269.99. And you're in a custom rocker too, aren't you? You want me to sit down? And Gentry, I really like yours. Yours is running for $299.99. Is it comfortable? Jennifer, what about yours?
Yeah.
That one's also $299.99. So we are here in the morning, and rather than getting a whole meal, we're just gonna sample some of the sweets that they have here. We got a garlic pretzel with cheese sauce, a maple donut, a glazed donut, and we also got a huge cinnamon roll. To give you a perspective, to provide you with a perspective of how large this is, look at this. This is the cinnamon roll, and this is the drink that they provide. Gentry, there's Gentry's head. That is a huge cinnamon roll. Henry is now trying out the garlic cheese pretzel, and Gentry's trying it out as well. Oh no, you're going in for the glazed donut. Jennifer, what are you going in for there?
I'm most excited about this. I'm more of a savory person.
Henry, what do you think, buddy? Good. Gentry, what are your thoughts?
Amazing.
And Jennifer?
Wow, that is so delicious. Lots of flavor. And it's just like perfect on the texture and everything. You can tell it's homemade. It's so delicious. I try some with the cheese sauce. That's very tasty also, but I could just eat it by itself. It's so flavorful.
Gentry's gone in now for some of that garlic pretzel. All right, Gentry, what do you think about the pretzel there?
It is so good that I don't even need the cheese sauce.
Henry had the combination of savory and sweet there. He dipped his donut in the cheese sauce. Do you like the donut with the cheese sauce?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to start with some savory here with the garlic pretzel. I'm going to try it by itself, then with some cheese. It's a cold cheese. I was anticipating that to be a little warm, but it's like straight out of the refrigerator. I'm going to go in for the cinnamon roll. Look at all of that cinnamon right there. Look at that.
Layers.
Layers. Here we go. That cinnamon roll is so good. It's very sweet. It's very rich. So dividing it into fours is going to be the way to go, because you saw how massive it was a second ago. But it is very sweet, very good, very rich. I'm a big fan of the cinnamon roll. That was Farmwalds Restaurant and Dutch Bakery. Henry, what'd you think about Farmwalds Dutch Bakery?
I liked it, and it's so good. I like the cheese and let's go.
I don't know. You're
Pretzel?
talking about your pretzel, or are you talking about your donuts?
No, I mean my salty donut.
And you like to combining the sweet with the savory, right? With the cheese and the donuts. That's a first. I can't say I've ever seen anybody try that before, but was it good?
Uh-huh.
All right. And Gentry, what did you think, buddy?
If you're looking for a cozy place to just relax in and get a quick snack, I would definitely come here.
All right. And Jennifer.
I completely agree. It's a really nice homey place. It's got cedar paneling, and it smells just like a light scent of cedar throughout the place, and it's calm and quiet, and those pretzels were awesome.
Yes, they were. Very good. And I want to point out, too, how close this is to the interstate. Right over here is a Love's truck stop, and right over there you can see those vehicles in motion. Let me get back into frame here. That is I-65. So This is the exit, of course, and then right underneath here is Interstate 65, and then boom, right over here is Farmwalds. And I really enjoyed everything here as well. I will say, if you are coming in for one of those cinnamon rolls, they are huge, very huge and massive, and very sweet, very rich. I could not imagine any single person's gonna be able to devour and eat one of those by themselves. So definitely come with some friends, come with some family. You're gonna need some help in consuming one of those cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls were good. The donuts were just so sweet. They're actually difficult to eat, not in a bad way, but just because they were so rich and so sweet. You could take a couple of bites and that was pretty much it. So that's the way to go, is to split it up, to share it. There's so many other options here. By the time that you're watching this, we're going to have already tried the cookies at the hotel, so we don't know how those are, because we're going to fast forward into the future and let you know how those cookies are right after this outro. And guys, we thank you so much for joining us here in Horse Cave, Kentucky at Farmwalds Restaurant and Dutch Bakery. And we sure do look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Every Day is Saturday. All right, so we're here at the hotel, and we are now going to try the Spellbinder cookies. And so we're going to split this in half here, and then we're going to do our best to split it in half. Ooh, it's stuck. Okay, so these are kind of hard. So, okay. And then Gentry's going to take one, and Henry's going to take one. All right, you want to go ahead and take a bite? You don't want any of that? You don't have to. All right.
What just happened? What is this?
That is icing.
Ice?
I don't like the icing on it, but I do like the rest of it.
Okay. What's it taste like? Is it similar to another cookie you've had in the past?
Kind of like that.
Kind of like a no-bake cookie?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's kind of like cinnamon.
Kind of like a cinnamon roll? Okay. All right. All right, so one thing I want to point out is on the bottom of this cookie, if you take a look here, you can see chocolate chips, you can see some coconut. The boys thought they were just all right. Not bad, but not great. So here we go. They are hard this morning. So we bought these fresh from the bakery less than 24 hours ago, but they do seem to be a little hard. I see exactly what they meant. I like coconut in different things, you know, in desserts, but this is not something I'd probably go to again, but it's not bad by any means. I mean, I'll finish off another bite or two, but it's not necessarily my favorite. It has a lot of cool ingredients. Like I said, it has cornflakes, chocolate chips, there's powdered sugar, there's coconut, there's oats, there's milk, there's vanilla. There's a lot of things going on in this, but for me, just personally, this is not one of my favorite cookies, but again, I'll have another bite or two. All right, we are now going in for the no-bake cookies. We all love no-bake cookies in this family. Henry's already dug in. What do you think there, Henry? You like it? All right. He had a little hesitation there. All right, Gentry, what's the verdict?
Delicious.
I'm very excited about trying this no-bake cookie. We saw these no-bake cookies on our way out, and we're like, well, we got to pick up some of those too. My personal all-time favorite cookie of all time is a no-bake cookie. So I'm going to see how these no-bake cookies made at Farmwalds stack up against all the other delicious no-bake cookies I've ever had. Here we go. I have had some no-bake cookies that have a little bit more moisture. These seem to be a little more dry than what I'm accustomed to. And you know, the Spellbinder cookies were a little dry too. So my personal take on everything that we have tried, by far the cinnamon roll and the pretzel were my two favorites. The donuts were okay. The cookies were my least favorite. Definitely go for the cinnamon roll if you're there and you like cinnamon rolls, but also go for the pretzels. The pretzels are very good as well. The only thing that could have made the pretzel a little bit better is if it was warmed up. A lot of the Pennsylvania Dutch areas that we've been to, the Ohio Dutch areas, as well as some other Dutch areas that we've been to across the country, they always heat up the pretzels. So right here in Munfordville, Kentucky, is a Stonehenge. Probably not as large as the one you would see in England, but nonetheless, it is Kentucky's own Stonehenge. And it's actually called Kentucky Stonehenge. And I would be curious to know if this actual Stonehenge right here is in alignment with the actual season. Of course, if you're not familiar with the Stonehenge in England, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, and the spring and fall equinox align to the different stones. And the sun will shine directly through on the summer solstice, the winter solstice, and then of course the spring and the fall equinox. So this is really neat. Had no idea that this was here, but it's not far from the interstate. And again, this is called the Kentucky Stonehenge.